And yep, that's definitely it. So periapsis is dropping dramatically, apoapsis is dropping as well. This is going to be the landing part. We're going to try to land safely, but there's really nothing I can do. This is absolutely like, I have no control over this. I can't control the capsule. I can really only release the parachutes. But because of the design that this capsule has, it actually is very, very resistant and persistent. It doesn't break easily. It can land under certain really high angles. Like you can actually land on slopes easily, and it doesn't break very easily, even if it lands relatively rough. I think it can survive up to like 15 meters per second landings, which is it's good. It's a good design. It's mostly due to these like lag things that I have on the bottom here, which you'll see in a little bit closer when we land uneven, when I actually get to walk on the surface. If it's a surface, it could be water. It could be liquid. That would be horrible. I see mountains. Can I land there, please? I see mountains right there. There's mountains. There's mountains. I want mountains. I want mountains. We want mountains. What do we want? Mountains. When do we want it? In a few minutes when we're landing. Alright, so it looks like there might be actually... This looks pretty flat to me. Like this part here where looks like I'm heading toward looks so flat. So flat and uninviting. Which also means that if we land below 2,000 meters, this is going to be really difficult to escape. I've tested this spacecraft before, and below 2,000 meters is just really challenging. You just don't have enough delta V to escape. I mean, you do, but you don't have enough delta V to reconnect to the other spaceships afterwards. But there is a beautiful mountain coming up. If everything goes fine, we'll be landing on that. And then we'll name it something really awesome, like the Mountain of Awesomeness that saved our lives on Eve. If you have other mods like the Deadly Re-Entry, this would be actually the end of your capsule. Your capsule would just totally destroy right now because it has no heating shields on it. It's basically just a bunch of wires, cables, and tubing that is being burned right now at ridiculously high temperatures. This would be like 5,000 degrees, over 5,000 degrees Celsius right now. So things will be melting pretty fast, including Jebediah Kerbin. He's actually right here, right in the middle of this beautiful sauna. Look at him, and he's probably looking really happy right now. You can't really see his facial expressions because it's just covered in fire, but I'm sure he's happy. He just thinks this is a little bit warm for him right now. Okay, so we don't really know. Oh, actually, wait, hold on a sec. I can actually check where we land in here. It's gonna tell us the surface. Peaks. I like that. Peaks is good. Even though normally Peaks is bad, on Eve Peaks is good. Impact Ejecta. Midlands. Midlands is still good. Midlands is still okay. Alright, so I'm gonna release the parachutes now. I always forget to release the parachutes. Always do. Things don't go well when I forget to release parachutes. Now the other thing is that obviously it's really dark right now. We cannot see anything. So even if we could see something, we can't really we can change our course. But it would be nice to know if this is actually, what is this below me? According to my flight engineer, it is ground called Midlands, but let's hope it lasts. Let's hope this is actually ground ahead of us as well. So is it parachute time? Let's wait until this drops to like 500. I have broken my parachutes before. Usually, like if you lose one of the parachutes, it's not a big deal. You still land safely, but you're gonna be landing sideways. Not sideways, but like laterally, like sort of like this. Okay, so we're not burning anymore. We're at 27-kilometer height, and it's time for parachutes. Perfect. It looks like we are going to be landing on the land. Highlands! It's Highlands! That is so exciting. This is actually the first time I got so lucky where I would be actually landing on mountains despite the complexity of this mission. And you know, total pure luck and slingshot maneuvers that were not really well planned out. That would be so lucky if we actually land on highlands. Why am I so excited? Because highlands, it usually means the altitude of at least 4 kilometers, which means that once we actually escape Eve's atmosphere, we'll have over 2000 delta V left in this capsule right here, which really means that I don't even have to worry about redocking. It's going to be so easy. It's going to be ridiculously easy. Meaning that I'll have enough fuel to play around with. We won't have to worry about failing as we would be failing if there was less fuel, obviously. I have tried this spaceship at like altitude of 1000 kilometers once, and by the time I escaped Eve's atmosphere, I only had about 400 or even less than that meters delta V left, meters per second delta V left, and this meant that it basically meant that this spaceship didn't have enough fuel to do an orbital maneuver to rejoin the docking station, because Eve requires a lot more delta V to maneuver orbit around Eve, and so I had to use the other spaceship to try to reconnect with my capsule. It was relatively challenging. But this might not be the case for this mission, because we are currently landing on highlands. And the altitude is going to be... okay, what is it? That's actually not that... it's not going to be very high. It's going to be about... let me just do some math here. Mental math. Oh, okay. It's actually surprisingly very low. It's only about 1200 meters. Okay, so that's not really highlands. That's more like midlands. But that's still better than nothing. That's still better than nothing. I think highlands is probably somewhere around me, but this is probably like the lower highlands. So let's wait. This is going to be very, very slow descent. We're gonna wait and see if where we land is going to be easy to escape from. Well, I'm seeing rocks on the bottom already, so that's kind of good. That means that we're not going to be very low on the ground here. And the speed is 72 meters per second. That's actually without the parachutes. The parachutes haven't opened yet. So technically, you could actually land on Eve even without parachutes. If you bring engines that can stop you at the last moment, or give you delta V above, or sort of below 12 meters per second, you can usually land even without the parachutes. Not that you would want to. I don't see the point of landing on Eve without parachutes. It's so much easier to do with parachutes. Alright, so here we go. This is going to be the landing. Very exciting. Super exciting. Let's see what happens. Parachutes have opened. That means that the ground is about 500 meters away. And speed is just under 11 meters per second. Going to actually lower this so that you can see the landing perfectly. And this is technically officially our first landing spot. And really the true beginning of the Grand Tour. The first planetary body that we're going to be landing on and planting the flag on. And look at the area around us. This is kind of cool. Looks like dunes or something. I'm gonna wait until the morning before we take off, and just so that you can actually see things better, because at night it's really hard to see things. And here we go. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there, and ba-boom, and bounce. That's actually how it always lands, and I like it that way, because if you have these what do you call these support thingies, struts, I guess. These are not struts, the metal supports on top of the empty canister, it actually gives it a little bit of a bounce, and usually this really it's basically like a spring. It really stops you nicely without breaking anything. So this was the absolutely perfect, you know, by the textbook landing, where we essentially landed just above 1000 meters, which is good enough for Eve. We have everything intact. We're on a flat surface. Everyone is alive. By everyone, I mean myself and Jebediah Kerman, who's a little bit tilted actually, but still happy. And this is perfect. This is great. Okay, let's hope this goes better with the next mission as well. So yeah, so let's just get down, explore the... well, I'm gonna wait until the morning. Actually, I need to also reorbit my other craft, give it a circular orbit. But we're basically done on Eve. We just have to take off now, and this was surprisingly a very lucky first landing. Meanwhile, in space, this other part needs to be in a better orbit. So I'm going to decrease its apoapsis to approximately 150 to 120 kilometers, and then give it a circular orbit. So this is the priority right now because the other spacecraft has safely landed on Eve, and we're just going to wait until in the morning so we can actually see where we're taking off from. So we're getting really close to recircularizing the orbit here at an altitude of approximately 150 kilometers, but I'm going to skip this part so you don't actually have to watch me go through all this, because it's going to take me actually possibly up to an hour to make this a perfectly circular orbit that orbits at around of altitude of... Oh, this is actually... Never mind, it's getting really close there. Look at that. It's already 180. So I just need to slow down just a little bit more because I do want to have something below 150. Below 150 is what I usually aim for, just so that it's easier to redock afterwards. And I also will have to possibly change the plane of this orbit. So whatever fuel I have left in the large tanks, I'll be using to change the plane of orbit so it's a little bit more this way, basically east to west, because when that spaceship takes off from Eve, it will need to it's going to be aligning itself with the east most likely, because that's how I usually do it. And otherwise I have to really choose the right angle here, because the plane is not aligned. I need to actually I may have to use a protractor to calculate the angle difference here and aim not for the 90-degree takeoff trajectory, but possibly like, I guess I don't even know if this is going to be 75 or 105, because it's approximately 15 degrees. Anywho, so we'll have to do this in the next video, because this has gotten to be a very successful landing, but it's getting a little bit too long for this particular video. So the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to take off from Eve. And before we end this video, I'm actually going to show you what the Eve surface looks like, if you haven't been there before, and also plant our flag. This is going to be the end of this video. But other than that, the takeoff and escape from Eve will be in the next video. But we'll also, before we escape from Eve, we actually have to land on Ike as well. Or sorry, not Ike. What am I talking about? Ike is Dune. Gili. We have to land on Gili, and to do that, I'll keep this until the next video. I'll show you how I'm going to do it without wasting too much fuel. And here we go. Look at that. The apoapsis is almost perfect. It's just above 130 kilometers. This is where I'm going to actually stop. I'm going to circularize my orbit at this particular point, and then we're going to return to our the top lander, wait until in the morning, and plant the flag, celebrate, open a bottle of champagne, and then in the next video we're going to be taking off from Eve and reconnecting with this beautiful part right here. At which point we're actually going to separate these tanks. We don't really need them anymore. As soon as there's no more fuel left, we don't really need them anymore. So we're going to lose this huge chunk right here, leaving behind this plus the tiny lander that is going to be used for landing on every single body in this Kerbal solar system. So 130 kilometers is actually almost perfect. I was aiming for 120, but I don't think it's worth changing it now. So let's actually just circularize this by doing this. Here we go. This is perfectly circular orbit, 120 to 130 kilometers, and that's it. This will be the final maneuver that we're going to do here. Okay, so we just finished last burn, and let's see if this is perfectly circular. Yes, excellent. Look at that, 129 to 130.5. That is excellent. Perfectly circular orbit, just where I wanted it. Just above almost above the landing spot, just a little bit off the landing spot of the other capsules, which means that when this capsule takes off, it will have to readjust its orbit just a little bit so that it can actually reconnect with the spaceship. I'm also planning to possibly change this a little bit later on, just so it's a little bit more aligned with the plane of orbit of Moho, so that I can actually get that extra speed like I was mentioning before. So let's switch back to our top capsule. We're going to wait for the sunrise, which is going to be absolutely gorgeous on Eve, and get down the spacecraft, explore the planet just a little bit. What was that sound? Oh, those are parachutes. Explore the surface a little bit, and of course prepare for the takeoff. Okay, I think the sun is coming out. I think it's actually from the other side. I didn't really know where the east was here. Oh, look at that. We can see stuff, I think. Wait, where is the sun? That's a very good question. I see the lights. I just don't see where it's coming from. So is it morning yet? Oh, okay. So it is sunrise. It's kind of getting there. Okay, so let's try to find the sun. Accelerate the time a little bit. Where is it coming from? I need to find the shadow. Look for the shadow. Ah, come on, we're missing sunrise. It's so, the atmosphere here is so thick that you can't even see the sun actually sometimes. You do see like a blob, but it's not sun-like as it is on Kerbin. So it looks like the light source is somewhere over here, but I just don't see anything. I'll just wait and see if something is actually going to come up. Because I don't really know where the east is here. Well, it is getting brighter, and there's a shadow now. So that means the sun is somewhere over here. We just don't see it behind all this cloud stuff. Alright, so welcome to sunrise on Eve. Even though there is no actual sun to rise, but nothing but clouds and acidic atmosphere and most likely death. And this is also a super hot planet, so there's actually super hot here. Anywho, but yeah, shadow is there, so that means the sun is up. So yes, let's get down and explore a little bit and plant the flag. This is the beginning of the mission. Okay, let's get ready for this. You ready, Jebediah? He has a very comfortable smirk on his face. I think he's ready. One small step for Jebediah Kerbin. One large step for Kerbin kind. And he broke his legs. That's a good start. Alright, get up. You're fine, you're fine. So this is our spaceship, and this is our first landing on the first body in the Grand Tour. What I wanted to show you guys is this. This is basically one of the more safer ways to land on various planets. This can survive, like this particular technique. These are empty tanks. They're not actual tanks. They're supports with the metal on the bottom. Better than any landing strut. It can actually survive crazy amount of speed. I've survived landings with like 30 meters per second. But it would just bounce up and nothing would happen. Okay, so let's choose a nice spot for the flag. There's actually, it all looks the same here. Kind of like this rock. Let's go to this rock. Oh, this is actually farther than I thought. Oh my, holy crap, that is a really large rock, really far away. Let's not go there. Okay, okay, this is as good a spot as any. Here goes nothing. Well, actually, let's take a surface sample. Why not? The surface appears to have a very strong purple tint to it. Or is it gray and it just looks purple because everything else in Eve is? You start to wonder if you're not taking on a purple tint yourself. If you were playing this in the not in a sandbox mode but in a career mode, you'd be getting some really crazy science here. Let's keep data. EVA reports. Everything is tinted purple. You feel like you're changing color. Let's keep this data as well. Plant the flag. And this is the flag I chose. This is actually the logo I've been using for this site as well. Eve landing for the Grand Tour. The Grand Tour. How do you spell Grand Tour? The Grand Tour. One small step for Jeb. One big step for Kerbal kind. Or is it Kerbanity? Humanity. Kerbanity. Yeah, there you go. Kerbanity. Excellent. The flag has been planted. The mission has begun. First landing complete. And this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Check out some of the other videos I've done on Kerbal Space program. And also continue to watch the series. It's going to get really exciting, especially when we actually don't have any more fuel left. It will happen, trust me. So this has been a pretty awesome landing, if I may say so, but it's only the start. Taking off from Eve is usually very difficult, so let's see what happens in the next video. We're gonna try to reconnect with the space station orbiting around Kerbin, around Eve, and also land on Gilly. Thank you, good luck to you, bye bye, and game you later.